Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the Epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 10, verses 11 through 25. He says, we don't have to go to the temple every day for the priest to make a sacrifice for us. And I want you to think about what are the temples of worship in our society, because we don't go to the Jewish temple that's in Jerusalem, but there are definitely temples. And there are priests of the law today who say that we have to offer sacrifices, we have to do righteous works to show that we are holy, that we're unique, that we're worthy of God. And these are to be made day after day. But it says, as it picks up in verse 12, it says, our great eternal high priest, Jesus Christ, has offered once and for all time, once and for all people, once and for all sins, the sacrifice of himself. And so by this one sacrifice, you have been made holy. You don't have to prove you're unique. God has already said you're sacred. It's just there waiting for you. And so we don't have to be desperate like so many people are in our society to show why they deserve to take up air on this planet. God has said, you are my child. And so it goes on in verse 15. He begins to quote Jeremiah 31 again. And in verse 33, I will tattoo my word, my promise on their life, on their heart. And we know that this is a word and not a law, because in the next verse it says, and I will remember their sins no more. I'm going to forgive their sins. And so it is a lawless word, a law-free tattoo, because it's filled with God's grace. And we don't have to sacrifice anymore, as it says in verse 18. So then we get to verse 19. I really want to encourage you, when you read this passage, to slow down and go through each phrase, because it's so dense with meaning. We have confidence, assurance to enter into the most holy presence of the Most High God. And why? Because by the blood of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, who is our great high priest, there's this new and living way to the Father that's opened up through his flesh and blood, through his incarnation and through his sacrifice. And so verse 22, there's these, let us draw near, let us hold unwavering, let us spur one another on. Because of this, we now live in a new way. So let us draw near to God, because we don't have to earn it. It's given by faith, as it says, with sincere hearts, with full confidence, not from the law, right? But by faith. Having our hearts cleansed from guilt and washed in pure water, which is a reference to baptism. Goes on, hold unwaveringly to our hope because of our faithful promise giver, who is the Lord. And let us spur one another to faith, which is active in love. Lastly, let us keep meeting together so that we can encourage one another. And I really want to end there. You are not going to be encouraged in your faith out in the world that demands more law. Come into the community of believers and be spurred on in faith to know that God loves you through Jesus Christ. Thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.